No, I just turned this off. We are here. We are live. And ooh, we're rocking the boat there. Okay. So we'll see who's here once everybody gets onto the live. And once it switches over. And there we go. So people should be able to see us and hear us now. So let us see who's out there. Say hello so we know that you can see and hear us. And welcome. Today is going to be a really bitchy session with me because I'm in a really bitchy mood. Hi, Marlene.
Hello.
Good afternoon, guys. I can master this watching and the odd comment. Love you too. Okay. Well, we love you too, Marlene. Hi, Angel. Glad you were able to make it. And B's here. Hi, B. And we'll see who else is here, and then we'll get started. It's been a very frustrating couple of days for me. And it involves technology. And it always does. Hi, Lisa. Thanks, Leah. And Joan. And, okay, we'll just another few seconds. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I am not. Angel says, just bought a cute quilt pattern yesterday that reminded me of Walter's shirts. Well, we're both wearing Walter's shirts today. We're going to talk about the one he's wearing because it's hot off the press. But don't talk about it yet.
No.
We'll just wait till we get it. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Nellie. From Las Vegas. Oh, hi, Nellie. Is it hot in Las Vegas? I would imagine it probably is. Do you shop, Nellie, at So Yeah? I mean, everybody seems to do that. They're very popular. I've never bought anything from them, mainly because of the exchange rate on our dollar and shipping and everything like that. But it looks like there's a lot of good bargains to be had when they do their auctions. Well, let's get started. So, what do I want to bitch about first? Well, I'll save the main bitching. Let's talk about my mother. Yeah, actually, this is more or less, hi Donna, more or less more of a worry than a bitch thing for me. She has still been throwing up on a regular basis. So I got a phone call, finally, from the nurse practitioner, and she basically said that they're not sure why she's throwing up. And we had a long discussion about it, and she was talking about running some tests and things, possibly an ultrasound to make sure she doesn't have a hiatus hernia. And they're talking about the possibility of sending her to the hospital and having her scoped. Go down through, she said we can either go down through her mouth to her stomach or we can go up her bum, she said. And I said, well, neither one my mother's going to be thrilled about with that. And I said, you do, hi, Eileen, and hi, Johan. And so, yeah, we talked some more. I asked if some of this could be more psychosomatic. My mother lately has been depressed. I know she has. And, well, when she gets into those kind of moods, she wants attention. And she'll do anything she can get attention for. But here's the problem. I don't know if this is real or not. My mother claims she doesn't have any pain. When you ask her, so Mom, why are you throwing up? Is it great after you've had something to eat? And all I get from her is, well, I don't know. And then she'll tell me, she tells my sister, and my sister says, well, I hear you're throwing up. And she says, no, I'm not. So there's all these mixed messages out there. I know my mother is losing it. I know that. I have come to accept the fact that she is slowly losing it. But, so I said to Anita, the nurse practitioner, I will talk to Mom and I will impress upon her this whole thing about going to the hospital and having this test, because she won't be thrilled about that. My mother has a deathly fear of doctors and of hospitals, although she was in a hospital for 4.5 months and enjoying every moment of it, it seemed, at that time before we got her into the home. Anyways, so I talked to her on the phone. It took a while to get a hold of her because, as you know, I've said this before, she won't answer her phone. So I had to call them at the desk on her floor and ask if they could, either go to her phone and dial my number for her or, take a phone to her. Well, they hung up on me twice trying to do that, and they finally got it to work. And I talked to her. Well, I said to her, Mom, I'm very concerned. I'm very worried. And I told her, this is not a fun situation. I said, if they have to take you to the hospital, Mom, this isn't great. I said, it'll be very traumatic for you, for one thing. And she says, well, I don't want that. And I said, well, Mom, it may be out of our hands. If you are continuing to throw up and they can't figure out why, you can't keep throwing up. You'll become dehydrated. You'll get sick. If you're sick. Well, I'm not sick. Well, why are you throwing up? Well, I don't know. Anyways, that's the frustrating part of what I'm involved in. Plus, you have to make arrangements to get her to the hospital. I told her, Mom, it's not a question of me coming over, getting you in my car and taking you over to the hospital. I said, I can't do that. I have to arrange for an ambulance service, the whole bit. That's big bucks. You'll be in the hospital on your own because we can't go over there because of COVID. They're still not letting us into the hospitals for this. So I said, I was trying to put a scare into her. Basically, because if she is faking this or for whatever goes through her head, she stopped walking and the doctors thought I was crazy because I said she decided she wasn't going to walk anymore, so she isn't going to walk. You won't find anything physically wrong with her. 4.5 months later, when she was in the hospital and all these tests and everything, they finally came to the same conclusion.
Yeah, they said, oh, she's not motivated.
And I went, duh, what have I been telling you? Yes, I'm not a doctor, but as I said to someone on the phone the other day, to this nurse practitioner, I said, could some of this be psychosomatic? And I said, I know my mother very well. I've been around her for 64 years. So, you might want to take into consideration what I'm saying, that there may be some truth to it. But at the same time, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because I don't want her to suffer. If she seriously is ill in the whole bit, then I want her to be looked after in the whole bit. At the same time, I don't want to put her through unnecessary trauma, and I don't want to put myself and my sister and Walter and everybody else through unnecessary trauma either, because this doesn't just affect my mother, it affects all of us as well. So anyways, this is how my week has been with my mother. But there's more. But let's see what you people are saying. I had that done. They put you to sleep when they do it, thankfully. Yeah, I would think so, Lisa. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Yeah, Eileen. Is that Eileen Crane?
Yeah.
We don't really know what the home will do. I know when my mom was in the nursing home, this was more at the beginning of 2000. There were some times I had to take her to the hospital, and there's no way I could get her there. I either get her, you can get a wheel transport or whatever. You have to sometimes the family sometimes has to look after it. Our health care won't cover that kind of transportation, as far as I know.
And not even sure how much our health care covers this kind of test either.
Oh, it should cover all of it.
Should it?
Yeah.
Well, you were saying the other day you didn't know.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't it. I said it was about the transportation.
Oh, I thought you meant the other. Well, anyways, B says gallstone.
Well, that is a possibility.
Well, there's a possibility. Actually, that's something no one has mentioned to me, and I didn't think about that. So maybe I'll bring that up to, well, no, I will bring it up to the nurse practitioner as well. I don't know. I just don't want, if we can avoid putting her through that kind of trauma at the hospital, then yeah.
Yeah, but they still, if it's gallstone, they still have to test that.
Hi, Teresa.
At the hospital.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, God, everything at the hospital. Well, anyways, that's just one of many things.
I mean, you can probably get wheelchair trans to get her over there, but that's a real pain in the butt because I tried that with my mother, and they only have one taxi in Oshawa that is wheelchair accessible. At least it was in the 2000s. Maybe they have more. And it's a real pain doing it that way.
Well,
you're better off just paying the money for the hospital transport to do it.
Yeah, well, whatever. We'll see. But anyways, what's that? A I can't say that word, but I know what you're talking about, Teresa. Yeah. Well, anyways, and on nursing home to start with, too, I just sent off a fairly pissy email off to the administrator of the home because my sister and I have planned to go over and actually have our first physical visit with my mother in over a year and a half. And, well, no, it'll be a year in August. Yeah, because we had an outside visit and the whole bit. Because we can now, and both my sister and I have been fully vaccinated and the whole bit. We have to take our proof that we have been, and that's all fine and dandy. But one of the things I did not know, well, okay, let me back up. You know that I talk to my mother every week. I book FaceTime with her through the home. Well, I usually do that on Tuesdays, 4 Tuesdays, and I book well in advance for all of that. Because that's the kind of person I am. I'm an advanced planner. So I thought, they don't have a way to cancel something. If you've made an appointment, you can't cancel it. And, you know, in my way of thinking, I should be able to go on there and go, okay, get rid of that. I don't want anymore, and let somebody else have the time spot if they need it or something like that. But no, their system doesn't work that way. So I sent an email to this Leanne. Leanne is the program director or whatever, and she looks after all of that. I've talked to her before. And so I sent her an email about an hour before we went on here, just to say, okay, I don't need my appointment for this coming Tuesday because my sister and I are going to be actually going over and physically visiting my mother at that time. So can you please get rid of it? Well, I got an instant reply back because she's out of the office until August the 3rd because obviously she must be on holidays, which is fine. Everybody deserves holidays. I don't have a problem with that. And she said, but then she said in the thing, if you want to make an appointment for a visit, please call the reception desk. Well, news to me. They sent out an email about a week and a half ago telling us that we could now do physical visits, and all they told us was that when we came to the home, we would have to have the proof that we'd had our vaccinations, and that they would be recording that information. That's all. It didn't say anything about having to make an appointment to see my mother. So I immediately phoned over. Now, when you phone over to this nursing home, and this is another thing that gets me pissed off, and is why I sent off my email today, you get automatically, it goes to a voicemail, a menu system. The menu system is 3 miles long. You think I was calling, Rogers or Bell Canada. Same kind of thing, right? But I do know the trick. You hit 0, which is not listed in their menu, but I found this out by accident one day. It'll go right to the reception desk. So I hit 0, and it rang, and it rang, and it rang, and it rang, and finally somebody picked it up. Somebody I was having somewhat trouble understanding, say no more, and I said, okay, I wanted to know, I want to come over and see my mother on Tuesday. Do I need to make an appointment? Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, I said, well, I'd like to make an appointment. And she says, well, you have to call Leanne about that. And I said, no. And I told her about the email from Leanne. Oh. So then she proceeded to take my name and my sister's name. And then she was trying to get this all down. And then she said, yeah, you need to bring proof that you both have been vaccinated and everything. And I said, fine, we'll do that. But my sister's husband made cards for her and him from the sheet that we get from the government. I guess I did the same thing for Walter and I. I just scanned them, reduced them, made them card size that we can put in our wallet. Since in Ontario, we do not have a vaccine passport because Doug Ford, our premier, says he's not going to do that. And he's an idiot. But anyways, I digress. So I said, okay, no problem. They said, yeah, we're going to photocopy those when you come. So I thought, well, I better let my sister know because she was planning to just go over and take this card her husband had made for her. So I sent her an email to let her know about that. Well, in the meantime, I'm thinking everything I've been going through this week with my mother in trying to make communication with her, I've been hung up on, not on purpose, and not by my mother, by the staff, because I don't think they understand how to use their phone system. It must be new. Well, it's a new building, so it probably is. Or things that I've asked to be passed on never get passed on, or everything like that. I've had it. I've had it with this lack of communication. I've had it with the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing. So I wrote to the administrator, and I was very blunt. I put it out exactly what my concerns were, and I said at the end of my email, and I would appreciate speaking to you about my concerns either in person or on the phone. I hope you will take these into my thoughts with careful consideration. Blah blah blah. So I'll wait. But I'm tired of this. This is not how the other home worked, and they're both owned by the same organization. And all I can say is that this is the fault of the administrator. The buck stops there, because the administrator at the other home is excellent, absolutely excellent. So I'm worried about my mother's care. So I said in my thing, I said I'm writing this because I don't want to hear the excuse that you're in a new place and that you're trying to get settled in. They've had 2 months now to settle in, and I know you're understaffed. Every home is. I get that. But you have to keep the channels of communication open to the families, and it makes me wonder about or worried about the quality of care my mother's getting. So that should put a little rise in her. If it doesn't, I will go to her boss. I'm going to go into teacher mode, people. Don't make me do that, because no one survives if I go into teacher mode. They're dead. Hi, Fidel. So,
actually, about the gallstones. Usually, gallstones has a lot of pain with it, and she doesn't have any.
She says she doesn't have any pain. My mother does have a very strong pain threshold. She always has. And because of her fear of hospitals and doctors, even if she was in pain, she would probably put up with the pain before she would admit to it if she thought there was any chance that someone was going to poke and prod her. I mean, my mother had not been to a doctor until like about 5-6 years ago, since she had my sister in 1965. So, Hi, Patsy.
Yeah, it's not like you have to pay for it. Here's.
Yeah, you think that her care facility would do their best for the residents to help have visitors. Yeah, but having said what I've already said, I don't think these things are being done on purpose and they don't care. I think there's a lack of communication.
Lack of organization.
And lack of organization. And that's what I want to discuss with this administrator. And I'll make no bones about it. I expect better. And I will tell her that. Hi, Jacques. But that's just one of the things I'm pissed off with today. But before I get into my other pissy things, because I'm in a pissy mood. Can you tell? I'm in a pissy mood. What's Walter been working on?
Well, I finished my shirts. And then I still am doing my jean jacket. I've got another class tomorrow. We put the collar on and we put the sleeves in. Well, I have to finish. I have some homework I have to finish. But and sew the sides up. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow we're putting. I forget what we're doing. Well, we're putting the cuffs on and the band at the bottom. So it should be done after tomorrow.
Oh, ooh, wow.
Well, I've done other than that. I have to put buttons on probably myself. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get that done.
B says, I had no pain with gallstones, and lots of people don't, but sickness is common.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, thank you for that, B, because I'm going to mention that. Maybe that's a possibility. But anyways, I don't know. So, so anyways, Walter got this shirt done. He's got another shirt done, which is my shirt, but he just finished it before we went on here, so I'm not wearing it at the moment. But this is one of Walter's shirts, but you've seen this one before. I love this shirt. Yeah, Patsy, I know that. The mood. Sometimes I have that problem too, but you know what I do to get over that? I just force myself to work on something small, and then I'm back in the mood again for it. At least that works for me. So, what have I been working on? Well, I finished quilting, and I'm going to show it tomorrow. I've got it hung up in the other room, so I'm not dragging it out here because it's awkward to try and show it to you on here, but it'll be on my vlog. What I call my crappy quilt. That's the one where, that has the outhouses on it and stuff like that. Well, I got it all quilted this week and it's done. And next week I'm going to start quilting the Jenny Lane one. That's the one with all the houses, the pretty houses on it. That one's going to take me a while, and I haven't decided yet exactly how I'm going to quilt it, but being me, I don't really go into it with much of a plan. I just let the mood hit me, which may not be the best thing to do. But I have it all basted, pin basted, everything. It's all laid out, and I found a wonderful new device. It's not new, actually. It's called Quick Clips, but it helps you to close your safety pins up that you're using to baste your quilt with. I'm going to show that on Idiot Quilter this week because it works dandy, and it's such a simple little device. So whoever invented that must have some, I hope they're getting lots of royalties on it because it was a great idea. I have been also in between jobs, I've been doing some embroidery. These are going to be like those gnome table runners or table toppers, but these are a little different. Yes, they're on black because they show up best on black, these designs, and I will incorporate them into a table topper. There's actually 4 different designs. I've got 3 of them embroidered out. I have a 4th one to go, but I think they're going to look really nice, and I've got some nice fabric to go with them as well. I think they'll look very elegant. And what else?
Jackie Sparks, or Jacques Sparks.
Jacques
asks, what else
what
do
do
I
you sew?
sew?
What else do you sew?
Mostly apparel stuff that I sew, and then I'll do bags once in a while. And some other projects. Anything but quilting.
Yeah. But you said that you would like to try to. You have a
What type
quilt.
of thread will I use on what? If I usually use Orifil cotton for sewing most of the time. But or
weight?
Unless it's for you, is asking for you. But what type of thread will you use?
Do you
on your
mean
quilt?
on my quilt? I'll use actually what I use is a thread that I get from Monfil, and you've heard me talk about Monfil before. We buy a lot of stuff from them. They're really great for embroidery supplies, but their thread, they're Superb or Super B. It depends on how you want to say it, because the way it's written out, it's got a capital B after the word super. So you don't know, are you supposed to emphasize the word B and call it Super B, or you're supposed to just say Superb?
They call it Super B, but I
do
call
they?
it Superb.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Anyways, they've got a really good thread for quilting that actually it's a general purpose thread, but it works really well for quilting, and that's what I've been using a lot because it comes on really large cones. It's either that or I use Orifil, and I use a 40 weight Orifil. What?
Yeah, I mean, for my shirts and that, I usually use Orifil for it, and if I'm doing top stitching, I have been using some of the Gutermann Mara 30 for top stitching, or I use the Orifil cotton 12 weight for top stitching.
Yeah, so I have it all laid out, the Jenny Lane one on the tables. I haven't put the tables away yet because I knew if I put the tables away then I wouldn't get to this quilt to lay it out. And I've got a new way of quilting, or at least a new layout for my quilting. I've sunk my sewing machine down on a small collapsible table and built tables around it. They're all collapsible. I fold them up after I'm done with this, but that's working really well because it's like having a sewing table where your sewing machine is like built into it, drops straight down, so everything's level. So it works.
Yeah, Jeannie, I am taking that class. Actually, I was Brendan, who's promoting the class. He is actually my instructor that I take the Zoom classes with, and he's organizing it. And so I said that I would go to that in the fall.
Yeah, that's not till what, October?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't go because I don't sew like that kind of sewing.
Yeah, it's all garments and doing measurements. And apparently there's one day he does like jeans, and he has about 30 different pairs of jeans on hand to help you, customize your jeans to your body shape or whatever.
So one size doesn't fit all.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be interesting, I'm sure. So, I finally got my batting order from Dinky Doo. I pre-ordered this batting back in April, and it was supposed to be shipped out by the end of June. Well, I got it middle of this week just passed. Yeah, it came in a huge box. It is a roll. Well, it's 30 yards, and it's wide batting that I bought. Then I had to figure out where to put it. So right now it's in our laundry room, all rolled up. I haven't opened it yet with it. But someone told me that they bought their batting that way too, and they hung it from the rafters and pulled off it like a paper towel roll. And I thought, that's a really cool idea, except, yeah, I don't really have a system there I can do that. Well, you could, but I don't know. Have to look into it. And when I say look into it, I'll have to have Walter think about it. Fidel says, I was told for garment construction it's better to use polyester thread because it's stronger and has more stretch. I can imagine a pair of shorts if you need to bend down or squat. Yeah. Well, you don't use a polyester though. You use cotton thread.
I usually use cotton, but yeah, I could probably use it. I don't know. I haven't been instructed as to what I should use, so I've just used everything. But I do have polyester thread I sometimes use. If I can't get the color, if I don't have the color to match, I have a bunch of other polyester thread that I can use as well.
Yeah, we have no lack of thread.
I mean, the Monfil thread that Steve uses, I have a bunch of that too. I sometimes use it for sewing, and it's a polyester thread.
Yeah, it's a polyester. So, well, it's a polyester core, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
And it's wrapped
No, but
in
it's
cotton.
not wrapped in cotton. It's polyester.
Is it polyester?
Yeah.
Oh. But it feels like cotton.
Mm.
Oh, it's the new polyester. Jeannie says, what kind of batting is it? It's 80/20. It's Hobbs batting. It came from Texas. And it's 128 inches wide. So it was a really good price. So I guess that's what I get. But I thought I was never going to get it. Luckily, I still had a lot of batting in reserve. In fact, I found batting I didn't realize I had. That's the problem. In my sewing room, it's so small. I stuff things in every other corner, and then I forget that it's there. Out of sight, out of mind, sort of a thing. So, anyways, so what else am I pissed off with this week? Well, I'm pissed off with my 3D printer because it's not working. And I have spent the whole weekend stripping it down. I ordered some new parts, putting those in, and I'm pretty much at my wit's end with it. I've got a few more ideas to try. I've been watching YouTube videos, and I just don't know why it's not cooperating with me at all. So that has me pissed off. And I'm a power user on any machine I get. And yes, since I've had that machine, it probably a day has not gone by where it's not running all day and usually through the night too. So I don't know if something on the motherboard in it has burned out. I am tempted to just cut my losses and buy a brand new one, but I don't know. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more, but it's eaten into my sewing time with it. I need a break from 3D printing.
Jessica got tired of Gnomes. No, actually, he was trying to make a sewing tool for me.
Yeah,
and it seems to start screwing up at that point.
which figures? It's Walter's fault. Yeah, simple as that. No, well, I don't know. I have learned a lot. I have learned a great deal in stripping this machine down. I actually got playing with the computer components underneath it this afternoon, which was a very scary part. But I did it. And so I have learned from this, but I don't know. Yes, Teresa. Oh no, not the 3D printer. Oh well, I'm discouraged right now because I'm tired. Because it's just been, the last few days just seems there's been something that I've had to worry about. And this thing with my mother's really got me worried. I'm a worrier. I've always have been. So, Lisa says, how do you feel about fusible batting for quilt as you go? I got some delivered by accident. It's only fusible on one side, though. I hear that Hobbs and Heirloom is two-sided. Have you tried that? Yes, I have, and I hate it. I hate fusible batting. And here's why I hate fusible batting. Because it never fuses, for one thing. And second of all, you've got to have a setup where you can get your iron onto it. And if you're doing a crib size quilt, that's not so hard. You can probably do that right on your standard ironing board. But if you're doing a queen size quilt with this stuff, and if you get a wrinkle in it, at least now, of course, you have to remember when I used it, that was one of the first battings that I ever bought because I thought, wow, fusible, that's going to be great because then I don't have to pin. And I didn't want to pin. You get a wrinkle in it, and then you don't see that, and then you press it. Try and pull the layers apart. Not going to happen with it. I stay away from it. I don't like it. Other people probably swear by it. There's also a powder you can get that is you sprinkle this powder on between your layers, and then you iron it too. I stay away from any of the stuff I have to iron. I use spray basting. And that's how I do it. I spray baste my layers first, get them all smoothed out. I lay them out on these giant tables that I have that can hold a queen size quilt. I put the backing down first, good side down, and I masking tape it to the tables. I pull it so that I don't stretch it, but I pull it so the wrinkles are out of it. I've ironed it first. I ironed it beforehand. I didn't used to do that either, and I find that really helps. Put it down with masking tape. Then I put my batting on top of it and smooth that all out on top of it. And then I put my quilt top on top of that. And I've ironed the quilt top as well and lay it down. Then I take a pool noodle and I put the pool noodle in the middle between each edge of the quilt, and I roll both the top and the batting onto the pool noodle up about halfway, spray my basting spray for the batting onto the backing, roll it down a little bit, about a foot, spray again, roll it down, smooth it out as I go, and do the other end. And then I do the same thing with the quilt top. Then when it's all laid out and nice like that, I trim off any of the excess batting. I leave about 2-3 inches all the way around, though, because it'll all shrink when you're quilting it, so you want to have a little bit hanging over. And then I pin, and I just only recently started to pin, and I can tell you this, since I've started pinning, I do not have any tucks. Does it take time? Yes. How many pins? Well, Walter just put in an order for me of 200 more quilting pins. I go through a lot of quilting pins. I pin about a fist width between each pin on all sides around. And I start in the middle and work my way out. It takes a while, but you want to know something? It's worth it. It is worth it. I am a great advocate now for pinning.
Do you iron your batting?
No, I do not iron my batting, and I will tell you why. Batting stretches, okay? And if you're not careful, because I tried this once.
Isn't part of it polyester too?
Yes, it is. You can get wool, but I have 80-20 blend, which I think is 80 wool, 20% polyester. So it can melt a little bit too. Now, some people do that. I find that if you just smooth it out with your hands carefully, you can get all the bumps out of it pretty well with that. Yeah, that's what I use, the Hobbs double-sided. I think I tried both. I think I tried single-sided and double-sided, and I hated it.
I think I had fusible on that little quilt, that first little quilt that I did, the one.
Yeah, you might have.
Stained glass one. And it didn't seem to fuse either.
No, they won't fuse. And I've heard different theories about that. Some people say it won't fuse if you have washed your fabric or not washed your fabric. I don't wash my fabric beforehand. Jacques says, have you used spray fusible? Well, do you mean spray basting? Yeah, I use it all the time.
Use what, 505?
I use 505, and it works well. A lot of people complain that you get spray basting. They don't like it because it gets all over everything in the house, and you gotta go outside and use it. I have never gone outside to use it. It is not all over my house. I don't know what these people are doing. If they're going like this as an air freshener, yeah, I think it will get all over everything. But I spray about 8 to 10 inches away from the surface of the batting, and I do not find I have a problem with overspray. Other people talk about fumes. Well, 505 I find doesn't have any fumes with it, so I don't have any problems with that. But there seems to be a number of people who really don't want to use it because of that. So I don't know. Yeah, Warm and Natural is good. But Hobbs has so many different brands. I just always use 80/20. I've never really tried anything else, mainly because 80/20 is usually the less expensive of the ones, and it's what I started with, and I've always had good luck with it. I should try, though, something else as well. Yeah, Lisa says the single side kept coming up after I unhooped. Yeah. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. I tried the stuff in a pink can. I hated that too. I like 505. I'm not sure what the pink can one is, but I've used 505. There was another one that I used. It was 40 something, or I don't know, whatever. But 505 because I can get it at Monfil, and it's a better price. But I like it. It works. So anyways, that's on next week's agenda. If I get away from my 3D printer, we'll see. So, what else am I pissed off with today? Stupid people. That's why I entitled this. There are lots of stupid people. I'm going to talk about stupid people in more detail tomorrow on my vlog because I've had it with stupid people. Here is an example of stupidity. Well, I'm going to let Walter tell you the story because he read all about it, that party.
Oh yeah, we're out of lockdown or whatever, but there's a limit to having, I think, 100 people outdoors or something like this. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway, there's a locality just near us, Brooklyn. Actually, it's only a few miles away from us. Anyway, I guess a week ago there was a great big huge party that was out on a field that had about 3,000 people.
3,000 people.
And it was organized by apparently some sort of a group, which of course didn't. All they had was a phone number on their flyer, and they didn't have any location as to where it was going to be. I guess you'd have to call and ask them where it was going to be, and of course it was a paid system. I think they were charging $30 a ticket to get in, and then and of course they were selling liquor there, which apparently was unlicensed. And they were also selling perks, like if you got a tent, you could get 5 tickets included, and a couple of tables, and your mixers, and 3 bottles of booze, and
For how much?
$1,500.
$1,500, but you could go even higher than that, and you could get like.
No, $1,500 was the top.
Oh, was that the top? You
There's
got the
a lower one. It was like $500. You got an umbrella.
Oh,
and a table and 1 bottle of booze or something like that. But anyway, yeah, the police went because they were called for noise, and they had a live band there and everything, and they got a little overwhelmed at how many people were there. They also had illegal parking in a shopping mall, and they had arranged for a shuttle.
a little strip plaza.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about a major mall. We're talking about a little strip plaza, because this town that this was situated in is a tiny little place. It's a little hamlet.
And the property it was on was semi-rural. Like, the houses were significantly wide apart from each other, but the neighbors were, and there was farms nearby. So people didn't park at the place where they said in the flyer there was no on-site parking, but the people ignored that, and they just parked up and down the road that it was on, And they also started parking in farmers' fields where they just
Crush their
basically
crops.
ran over their crops. So it is a real mess. So I don't know if they've still been charged yet or what the story is.
Well, I think the cops were overwhelmed because the cops went and discovered 3,000 people, and it looked like what we saw, they only sent out about 2 cops. And
yeah, because they were dispatched and said that it was a loud party. So they went there thinking, yeah, well, it was a loud party of like maybe 100 people. But they got there and they were like dumbfounded at how many people were there.
But here's what's really stupid. These people were all out there. They're not doing social distancing. They're not wearing masks. So we saw some videos of the whole thing. And on top of it all, they are in direct opposition to what our government has said that you can do. But here's the thing. They knew with that many people there that the chances of anybody getting fined or anything were pretty slim to none because the cops wouldn't be able to handle that many. They'd have to call out a SWAT team.
There were some people that were fined for drinking and driving and things like that, but I don't know what else they could do.
But I blame this on our government. Our government opened things up too soon here, and there's no consequences.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any consequences. If somebody has, doesn't obey the rules, then they don't seem to be fining them or something. So, it's easy for these places to go ahead and just go do stupid stuff like that.
It makes me ashamed to say I'm a Canadian when I hear about stupid things like this. And it's not just here in our province. They're doing stupid things out west as well. They've got the Calgary Stampede is going on right now. Now, that's a biggie. Everybody's heard of the Calgary Stampede if you live in North America, pretty much. And yeah, they've got restrictions in the whole bit. But I know people from Ontario who have gone trotting off because they've had their 2 vaccines and are out partaking in the Calgary Stampede. And I've seen pictures of the Calgary Stampede. And guess what? They have on the midway where there's rides and stuff like that and concession stands, the people aren't doing social distancing. They're not wearing masks. And they don't have you have no way of knowing who the people around you who are vaccinated and who are not.
Actually, and Alberta has the lowest vaccination rate in Canada.
Yeah, well, that's because Alberta's full of the rednecks of Canada live in Alberta. Sorry to say it, anybody that's from Alberta, but it is. It's simple. Or as I like to say, it's Texas. It's Canadian Texas. But whatever. I'm sorry. If that hurts somebody's feelings, go away. Because that's the way it is, and I'm pissed off anyway, so don't get in my face today, people. Just don't get in my face.
Anyway.
So, anyways, the other thing that's pissing me off is our government, our provincial government, our premier, Doug Ford, Doug asshole, idiot, Trump in training. There's a call from the medical community that we should have passports, vaccination passports, so that, people opening up their businesses and that can say, okay, if you could show me you're vaccinated, you're welcome here. So that we're not mixing, because most of our cases now are coming from the unvaccinated, not the vaccinated. So, but he won't do it. He's always saying that he goes by the science and he listens to the health department community and the whole bit. He doesn't. And I do know why he won't do it, because he's afraid. It's an election coming up in a year's time. He's afraid of alienating the rednecks out there that they were the ones that put him in power to start with, basically. Same kind of mentality as the ones that put Trump into power. Same thing. All over again. And it's crazy. We need to have a vaccination passport.
Well, actually, I read yesterday, too, that in France they were having a problem getting people to be vaccinated. They now have said that they have ruled that everybody in the healthcare system has to be vaccinated.
And that's the other thing that our government's not doing.
The other thing that they've done in France is that they said that they're setting up a passport system that says that only people that are fully vaccinated can go to venues that have a lot of people at it.
Yeah. Oh, B's going off. Okay, B. And there's another stupid thing, the Tokyo Olympics. Yeah. Right now, Japan has got the highest number they've ever had of COVID cases, the whole bit. They've already got athletes that have COVID. or been tested positive for it and the whole bit. But yeah, let's have those bloody Olympic Games, because that's going to solve a lot of problems in our world. The Olympic Games have never solved world hunger, have never cured cancer, have never put a man on the moon. Don't get me started because I'm pissed off about that too. Told you, I'm in a pissy mood. Johan says same here in Australia and also in Europe. Yeah. And they're having the same problems in the States. Yeah, I know. Lollapalooza next weekend, Maryland says in Chicago. Expect to draw 100,000 a day. This is going to be a nightmare. Yep. You just shake your head.
Anyway, so move on.
My show.
Okay.
You're only a guest. If you want me to be more pissed off with you,
yeah, well,
shut up.
It's just that every week we're talking about
because
COVID.
That's all we have in life to live for.
I'm getting sick of that.
Yeah, we're all getting sick of it, but it doesn't seem to go away, does it? No. So, yeah, new topic. Get new glasses. I had to go and get my eyes checked because I haven't had them checked since pre-COVID and the whole bit. And
getting your head examined too.
I'm going to cut you. I'm just going to take this glass, I'm going to smash it on the counter, and I'm going to cut you right here on live. That's going to go viral. Simple as that. Yeah, so anyways, I went in and I got my eyes checked and everything, and then I still have a little bit of the raccoon bags under them because for some reason they put in those drops to dilate my eyes, and the first time, I get them all the time, but this new eye doctor, and I don't know what she's using for eye drops, but first time she ever used them on me, my eyes just went like out to here, and I called them up and said, I think I'm having a reaction. And they go, oh, what? What do you mean? I said, my eyes. So I went in and they looked and they went, oh my God. And I said, yeah, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. So they recommended, well, take some antihistamine kind of a thing. And they should go away. Well, it took about 5 days, 6 days for it to go away. And she used to use numbing drops before she put the eye drops in my eyes, which she was the only one I've ever had that did that. And she says, well, maybe it's the numbing drops, because you've had these kind of eye drops before and you've never had any problem. And she says, well, it'll sting, but I can, avoid using the numbing drops. And I said, sting? I've had those drops before. Yeah, they not really that bad or anything. So I said, yeah, well, forget that. But nevertheless, I still have a reaction every time. And so I had a reaction. They're starting to go down, but there's like suitcases under my eyes. I am wearing my eye cream.
It wasn't as bad as that one time you had it. It was like
the first time, yeah.
His whole face looked like it was melting.
Yeah, that's for sure. But anyways, so then I went across where I get my eyes checked. They're attached to a place called the Optical Boutique, which is where I get all my glass frames. Well, Carl, the guy who owns it, he always brings in the most stylish glasses, and he always pushes them on you, but he does make good choices. So, but actually the frames weren't that much. My frames were only $250, I think, this time, but they're crystal, plastic, but they're crystal. They're see-through completely, and actually they look really cool, I think.
Yeah, with your white hair.
I am going to cut you. I'm just going to take this pen and I'm just going to stick it in your neck. Anyways, I get them probably tail end of next week or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, the thing is, the frames are $250. My lenses are $850. So I have actually, these are only reading glasses, but lenses are expensive. And they make them very thin, so they fit in the frames, and I don't know what else they do to them. I have some other things put in them, but yeah. But I knew it was going to cost me like about $1,100 for new glasses, but yeah, that's okay. I need them. Too bad I only get about $350 back from our insurance on that, so big deal. But anyways, maybe next week when we're on here, I'll have my new glasses and you'll see it. Whatever. So
as Andy was saying, that they have the highest cases in the States by Republicans, and they're now even beginning to recommend vaccination.
Yeah, I've seen that on TV, them talking about that. Yeah, Joan, I'm the same way. The Olympics could go away and I'd be fine with it. You know, the Olympics aren't for the athletes anyways. It's just an excuse to rack up dollars in, and they spend all this money, every host city for them, and they never recoup the costs. Every time they go into debt for this. I mean, really, like I said, couldn't that money be used for better things, like for the homeless, for people who are starving, for women's shelters, for abused children, for improving hospital systems? You know, there's a lot there. It's going to get awful again with the Delta variant. Our hospital's starting to get overfull. Yep. Do waste beer. Huh? I missed something on that one. You have to explain that one to us, Jacques. Was it Fidel says maybe you're having too much sugar or caffeine. Oh, it's a possibility. Yeah. Actually, I limit myself to only 2 cups of coffee a day, and that's in the morning. I don't drink any more than that. Oh, well. I said to Walter, I want Valium. Just give me Valium lately. Actually, you know what I want? I want it to go away. I want to do what stupid people do.
Well, we could do that.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last week, about going down to Prince Edward County. It's a place east of us that has some wineries and quaint little places and things like that, which might be kind of nice during the week. Of course, week gets filled up. So, what else am I pissed off at this week? Oh yeah, the town is digging up our sidewalk in front of our house. So, here's clever. Weeks ago. Yes, I do. Weeks ago. I have to get out of this chair.
Yeah.
Weeks ago, pull up a bunch of guys in a truck with spray cans, and they're marking, where the underground services are. So we know something's going to happen. Now, yes, the tree in front of our house that the city planted when we first moved into this house 26 years ago has gotten bigger, and the roots are kind of pushing up the sidewalk, right? So the sidewalk's uneven, so they're coming in to fix it. Our tax dollars at work, as they say. That's fine. So they do all their little spray painting and whatnot, and then the rains come, and people cut their grass, and those marks all go away. So they come back out again weeks later and do the whole rigmarole again. And of course, they've all disappeared. So earlier this week, my Ring doorbell goes off, but nobody knocked on the door or rang the doorbell. So I went up to see what it was, and I see this cube van in front of the house, and this guy's getting out, and he's drawing lines on the sidewalk, and then he gets out his big cutter thing, and he's cutting lines into the sidewalk. Meanwhile, there's a note on our door, and the note says, "Hi, sorry for the inconvenience," from the city works department, saying that they're doing this road work here and whatnot, and it may cause a disruption to our internet service, our gas line service, or our cable service.
No, it wasn't gas
said
line.
Bell.
No, it was only telephone or Rogers or
Gas. It said Enbridge.
Oh, maybe it was gas.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Anyways, and that if that happened, to call one of those services. Wait. Why would I be calling one of those services when the town has done this? So I showed this to Walter, and then you did your thing. What did you do?
Well, I tried calling them, and I got the runaround. I tried calling them, and it was, they said, what's that? Oh, no.
You got reception.
No, I got a reception. The reception was less than helpful. They said,
she was blonde. Hi.
Yeah, and...
Are all your boys on the same team? Ah.
So then I ended up going online and tweeting the city.
Yep.
And I said, I just sort of said, well, I said, so they come in and mark our lawn. It rains a lot. The markings disappear on our lawn. Then a guy comes and hangs a note on our front door that says about it, they can't find our services, so they're gonna So
They're just going to blindly cut and
Yeah,
hope for the
right.
best.
right, and then so then I said, well, this is really poor planning and all this other stuff. So anyway, so in Twitter you can only put so many words in. So anyway, so next thing you know, within minutes, I get a reply from somebody from that, and they said, oh, please call our planning department. Well, that was less than helpful because I phoned their planning department, and all you get in there when you call them is a message that says, oh, we're not able to take your call. We'll leave us a message and we'll get back to you in 48 hours. So I wrote another Twitter message. Next thing you know, I had a guy that came to the front door trying to explain everything, which he didn't really do a great job.
He didn't do
at
a
that.
great job, and of course Walter doesn't do a really good job. He doesn't like confrontation. So I entered into the field because I love confrontation. And I said to the guy, look, I said, here's the scoop. So you come out here and you fix the sidewalk. Great, wonderful. That's nice that you're doing that. You know, it's our $6,000 in property taxes we pay every year at work, I guess. And I said, but so you cut one of our lines, our internet goes down, and so it's my responsibility to call up my service provider and get them to come out here for something that I didn't do that you did. And you did because you can't find your markings, because you put the markings weeks ago and the rain has washed them away. I said, this doesn't seem quite right to me. Now, this guy was a young guy, and, you know, I said to him, I know this is not your fault personally. You're just here doing your job because you've come to do the troubleshooting. But do you get my point? Well, he said, well, we find that if we call them, they take weeks to get you, but if you call, they act more quickly. I think that's bullshit
Yeah,
right off the bat.
because they don't want to have to call.
So I turned around and said, okay, so what do you do with this information right now? I said, you go back and well, he says, well, I let my supervisor know that, you know, that I've talked to you. I says, yeah, you check it off on a form. It gets filed in the trash can, whatever. I said, I'd like to have follow-up to this conversation from somebody who's, you know, above you, because really, you're just the go-between. And I said, and I realize that. This is all bureaucracy. So I said, well, anyways, I said, at least you came and you spoke to us. And I said, I guess that's something. But there we are. So hopefully when they finally get out here and do what they need to do, we have lovely orange cones sitting out in front of our house right now, and that could be there for the next 3 months. When they finally get it all done, hopefully they won't have cut into our services. Because if they have cut into our services, I will go into teacher mode again with this. I am just so pissed off. Can you tell? Teresa, hey, I'm blonde. I'm only sometimes dumb. Okay, Teresa, you're a half-time blonde. When the city came and had to dig up my driveway, they took the edge off by a retaining wall. Didn't repair the wall. Duh, thanks. Wish they dug up the top of the driveway. That needed replacing. Yeah, well, that's the other thing I'm a little concerned about, because we actually have a walkway that runs from the sidewalk right up to our front door of our house that we put in several years ago. I really don't want that destroyed.
No.
I was watching him very carefully when he was cutting, and he was being very conscious of that. So I'll have to say for that guy. But I mean, really? This is what we're paying $6,000 for? Yeah, right. Fix the sidewalk. I get it. But don't cut into our... Oh, and one of the services, they won't even come out and locate it for them. Rogers.
Yeah.
But we don't have Rogers, so I don't care if they cut it.
Yeah.
But...
Neither does their neighbors. So.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's just like, I'm so sick and tired of people being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And when I say stupid, I mean lack of common sense. What happened to common sense? Where did that go? Right out the window, I think. But anyways, so that was another thing I was pissed off at this week. Oh, and here's another thing that pissed me off this week, although I knew it was coming. Netflix. Netflix just put up their price. Now, they've been saying they were going to do that for a while, but I think we were paying $14.99 a month. Now we're paying $16.99 a month. Yeah, it's only $2, but it keeps creeping, because when we first got Netflix, it was $10.99 a month.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they know they've got you by the little curlies, right? Because what else? Regular TV. Who watches regular TV anymore? Because there's nothing on it. And, movies and things like that through Netflix. And we also have Prime. So, and we have the Disney Plus channel, but only for a while. We don't watch that too much, but it was free until September. And then I have to cancel it. Because
I'm not that crazy about it.
I don't think they've got much on there. I mean, if you had kids, I suppose. But, we don't. So
they have all their movies on there. So, you can go and watch some, but they're all old movies.
They're old movies.
And any of the newer stuff that they have, they bring it out first and say that you have to pay a premium on top of that. Disney. You have to pay $34.99 for if you want a new movie, but or you can wait 2 months for it to come out on the channel. So.
I can wait. Well, what does it cost to go to a movie these days?
Not cheap. I don't know. Last time when we used to go, between the two of us, I'd pay about $35.
For two of us, though.
For two of us.
So if you rent one of these things, it's $35.
Yeah.
I suppose you could have as many people watching it, though, so I guess. But, of course, you don't go to the concession stand because that's a small bank mortgage there.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it that did it before. I don't know. Our movie theaters have just opened up. I don't know how people do it that have, come in with mother and father and a couple of kids, and then they get the concession stands. It's probably it's well over $100 for them to come.
Well, I would think so easily.
Yeah.
Because if you get I never get popcorn at a show anyways. I very seldom get
No, but they overcharge for their drinks and the popcorn and everything else, and you get a family that wants a night out or something. It's a pretty expensive proposition.
Expensive night for them. Of course, those same families might be used to skip the dishes and everything else, and do that because they spend it a lot. I mean, we went out for lunch. Speaking of spending money in sticker shot, we went out. What?
Yeah, we actually went out for lunch this week.
Yeah, we went to a place that we like. That's not too far from us, and it's they have great curry. They're run by Sri Lankans, I think.
Sri Lankan, yeah.
Yeah, Sri Lankans. And anyways, they have a big patio and they've extended it and they had all the tables far apart and everything. You wore your mask in there and that. It was kind of nice to get out. It felt civilized until I saw the bill. And I went, whoa, I forgot.
Well, it's not much more than what we were spending before, but...
Well, no, I know, but we haven't done it in so long that when you see that, it cost us, with the tip, it was $81. We split a small Caesar salad. I had what they call the courtyard. This place is called the courtyard. I had the courtyard curry. You had...
I had beef and mushroom pie.
Mm-hmm. It's a pub kind of a place. And we both had... No, we had 4 beers, 2 apiece. We should have got a pitcher. And I said that. You said... And we ended up having 4 anyways. So with the tip, it was $81. For lunch. So, yeah. And I'm so used to now not doing that and socking that money away. I mean, because somebody wants new windows and doors, which, yeah, I do too. We have to get seriously into looking into that, but that's going to cost us. What people saying here? Marilyn says, no. Teresa said, when the city came and had to dig up my driveway, I read that. Marilyn says, it's such a complex world now and very few people seem to have a global picture of what is happening. Yeah, that's true. Teresa says, $35 for tickets and another $35 for popcorn. Teens can't afford to date. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Teens seem to have a lot of money.
Yeah, these kids seem to
they all have iPhones and they have Apple Watches.
So. Yeah. Pat says, I love curry. Haven't had it in a long time. Well, this place makes the best curry. It is a brown curry. It's chicken thighs and potato.
Yeah, actually, I really like it too, but
it's very spicy. They warn you. They warn you that this is a real burner.
I can't be going anywhere for a while. For a bit afterwards.
If you're familiar with the expression, it's a double burner, if you know what I mean. I love it. It is so good. And I wish I could I tried to copy it, but I can't figure out their recipe.
Well, I do have a bit of a recipe that I can make. I have some stuff that I can make it, and I've tried to make it, and it's pretty close, but it's not completely.
So
Yeah, I think you have to have the atmosphere going out for it too. So
Teresa says the movie Family Plan. Mom carries a very large purse filled with juice boxes and snacks. Yeah, you pretty much have to.
well, yeah, you can, and then some. Yeah, I know. Like that, you'd have to do that. I know some places used to get uptight about that, but I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I guess I have to. Guess I have got to get my recipe for chicken curry salad. That's so high. Oh, send us the recipe, Patsy, because that sounds interesting. Andy says, I recently did pick up at a Thai restaurant. It cost me about $25. Works for me because the serving lasts me for 3 meals. Well, yeah, we'll order, Walter will pick it up, Chinese. And we usually get like 3 dishes. 3 dishes with, well, one of those dishes is a rice dish. And that'll do us 2 meals, usually.
Yeah.
And but that costs us about, what, $30?
Yeah, it's about $30.
We had Swiss Chalet the other day. Walter went and picked it up.
Swiss Chalet is a rotisserie chicken place.
Yeah. It
cost us 50 cents.
It cost us 50 cents, yeah, because we had a $30, we'd earned points or something. How did we get that?
Well, I had an Air Miles card, and Air Miles has recently changed their. I mean, a lot of places have dropped them for for getting points and that. I just had it, and used it whenever we went to a place that you could collect Air Miles from, and I ended up getting. I think I had $30 on that, so I got a $30 gift certificate to. Swiss Chalet.
So we used it the other day. So we went over to the $30. It cost us 50 cents to off it. But we usually get 2 meals out of that too, because that's a whole chicken, isn't it? That we get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they cut it up into pieces. But yeah, so that's not too bad when you do that. And what we had a sub the other day.
Yeah.
For lunch. That was cheaper than with our coupons at Wendy's.
Yeah.
We use our coupons at Wendy's every now and then for lunch. Go through the drive-through, and
we don't eat a lot of fast food.
We don't know. We only do that every blue moon. Well, every other week.
Marilyn says, "Has the price of fabric gone up in Canada?" We think so.
We think so. Yeah.
Our local store hasn't put it up, but we've noticed it yet. Though I think she's already said that she's already warned people that it's
probably going to go up.
And there's another store that we went to, and we noticed the prices jumped a bit from like about $18 a meter to about $20 a meter. So
yeah,
it's gone up.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, everything's gone up, and
yeah.
I mean that's what I figured. Everything will be as we get back to normal.
Well, it's like the place we had lunch at the other day. The curry normally used to cost about $14. Now it's $17. So,
Kathy says, if you don't feel comfortable, can you rent a cottage? That's not us.
We're not big cottage people.
No.
And the other thing right now, the way with COVID and everything else, renting cottages are really hard to come by.
Yeah, because everybody's doing that.
But I don't know. Going to a cottage is just another house away. Like it's not.
Yeah, you go there and we still have to cook.
We probably can't sit outside because mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes are. But if this is Canada. You go to cottage country, the mosquitoes will carry you away at night, and no.
That's not us.
That's not us.
We kind of like, if we go somewhere, we kind of like a place that we can go to a restaurant or something like that.
I like civilization. Yeah. To me, roughing it is a nice hotel without room service. So, Teresa says, Patsy says, I like the new chicken breakfast sandwich at Wendy's. I've not heard of that. I don't know if they have that here.
I have to take a look. They may not have it here.
I don't know. Teresa says she went to K&A Fabrics in Ingersoll Friday and did damage to their sale wall at $6.50 a meter. Wow.
That sounds good.
Where's that in Ingersoll? Oh. Where's Ingersoll?
I don't have to look.
I've heard of it. Is that out by London area or whatever? I'm not sure. Marilyn says, here in Edmonton, the prices have gone from $18 to $21.50 for fabrics. Notion have also shot up. Yeah, I know. Well, I know online that the average price rate now from anything that I've been buying or looking at is about $20 a meter. So we're used to paying $15 a meter with Ultimate Sewing. In fact, Ultimate Sewing had a big sale this week, and we never got to it because, to be honest, I didn't need any fabric. And finally, I've got a big order of stuff coming from Missouri Star Quilt, and I got notification, I think yesterday, that they finally shipped it. Well, okay. I shouldn't say finally, because they do say it'll take 7 to 10 days. And it's been, I think it was about 8 days. So now we'll see how long it takes. It's supposed to be coming by FedEx, so we'll see how long that takes. But they had these 3-meter cuts, which I bought a bunch of because they'll be great for backing. And I bought a few other things. In fact, it was a while ago, so I can't remember what I bought.
I just looked it up. It's between Woodstock and London.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, I would love to go out to some.
Actually, we should do that. Drive out that way someplace
Yeah, maybe
and
we
stay
should.
somewhere.
Yeah, I know, but can we?
Yes. You could do that last year, too. What do you think?
Well, I don't want to come home with the Delta variant.
Oh, I think we'll be fine.
As I said, stupid
You're
is
too paranoid.
as stupid does. I don't know. Maybe I am. I'm suffering from COVID anxiety. I've told you
You gotta
that.
get over that.
I want a pill. I want some whatever Valium or something. I don't know. Angel says here in Pennsylvania it varies 10 to 14 per yard. Of course, that's American prices. So for us, that's
$300 a year.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
That's more like 13 to.
what I really miss is what we did before pre-COVID days. We'd go the weekend before or after my birthday, and we'd go for about 3 days, and we'd go to what I call fabric country, which is the Kitchener, Waterloo, Guelph area, and Stratford and whatnot here in Ontario, and we do all the quilt stores. And I would drop a bundle, but I don't have any room for any more fabric. So I don't know. Just wrapped up a shop hop this past week, Joan says, and the 7 quilt shops averaged about $10.99 to $11.90 per here in New York. Yeah, but you see, we have to translate that into Canadian dollars. That's the big problem. So $11.99 per yard, that would be an excellent price if we could get that here in Canada at that price. But that's what, $15? That's still good, but
Yeah, that's still good.
of course it's a yard, it's not a meter, so you're getting
Well.
gypped by 3 inches. Yeah. Go to Elmhurst for lunch in Ingersoll.
I put that down.
that's
I took note of that.
Oh, did you? Okay. Teresa says, I actually visited Hamilton, Missouri 2 weeks ago. Loved it. You did? I would love to go, but Missouri is one of the states that has one of the highest outbreaks. Because there's an awful lot of anti-vaxxers there, too. But hope you were okay. Did you have to wear masks? And were they doing social distancing, Teresa? Maryland. I've been shopping online with the Soya Brothers. They're based in Las Vegas and have 2 shows per week. Yeah, I watch them all the time. But again, they have some good prices if I lived in the States. But I got to add shipping to that, and all in Canadian dollars. And so, yeah, that's why I don't order from them.
Our local quilting store is pretty good. It's
Yeah.
like still is $15 a meter for most of the stuff. So
My LQS closed, local quilt store. They averaged 13 to 15 USD per yard before prices went up. I order online. Yeah, well, that's where I've been getting most of my fabric lately too. But anyways, the Ultimate Sewing had a big sale on, and I felt kind of bad that we didn't go. I kind of want to support her, but to be honest, I had nothing that I really needed.
yeah, and I still have a bunch of fabric too. I still have more fabric than I know what to do with.
So that was the one thing, yeah. But anyways, so what else is on here? Town doing up, getting new glasses. Oh, okay. Warning. There's a new delivery scam message. Well, it's not new, but I just got it. They tell you that they have an order that they were unable to deliver to you, and they give you a number or website to go. No, they give you a website to go to, and they text it to you. They text this message to you, and they call you by your name. At least mine did. And then you go to the website, and they tell you it's a piddly amount of money. It's like $3 or something, but it's a scam. And of course, they want your credit card number and everything like that. So yeah, they're going to go to town on your credit card number. But the thing is, it looks really legit. If you look at it real quick, you could be fooled because they put up UPS's logo, or what looks like their logo, but they call it IPS. And if you look at the URL on the website you've gone to, it ends in RU, which is Russia. Of course, it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming from Russia. However, they do the thing. So just beware of that. If you do a lot of online ordering, you're expecting stuff to come in, and if you're expecting it from a courier system.
I had that actually happen the first time because I bought a Mac computer from Apple. And Apple was using UPS at the time for Canada. And on Apple's orders, they had your name and your phone number on the information on the sticker on your package. And then all of a sudden, the day before I was going to get the package, I got a message that said they were from UPS. They needed $3.50 for them to deliver my package.
But did they say they were from UPS?
Yeah, they said they were from UPS.
Oh, okay.
And they had a little logo, too.
Oh, yeah.
To make it look legitimate. And then I said, well, that's strange. I thought to myself, well, that's strange because Apple never charges you for delivery. So I looked at what they had presented, and they wanted your credit card information, your date of birth, all kinds of stuff. Who asks for date of birth?
Yeah.
Right? And stuff. And I thought, no, it's a scam. I immediately wasn't going to do that in the first place because I always figure that's a scam. And if the package doesn't really get delivered, then maybe I'll look into that afterwards. But I'm not. They're trying to get you because they're afraid your package isn't going to be delivered.
Yeah.
So.
And they're taking advantage of people right now because
Yeah.
we're all ordering online. And
Yeah.
we've been buying a lot of stuff online, everybody, during COVID.
And then I went on to Apple forum or whatever and wrote this down. And I said, beware that this is probably a scam. And about 10 other people immediately got on there and said, yeah, they had it happen to them. They had it happen to them. And then when I got the package actually from Apple, I noticed that my full name, my address, and my telephone number, my cell phone number, was on the outside label of the package. So somewhere along the way in the distribution, there's some shady character that's taking that information down.
Yeah. Patsy says, wish the scammers would get real jobs. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we're overrun with them. I mean, it really gives you a bad impression of humanity, doesn't it? That everybody is out there to try and take advantage of somebody else. And I think that's just a sad commentary on modern living.
Yeah.
Marilyn says, there's a Canadian company from near Vancouver, BC, I think it's called Dinky Doo. Oh, yes. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with Dinky Doo. I have not ordered much from them. I ordered a pattern from them once, and it took a while to get. But I did order batting, which I had talked about earlier. I don't know if you were on here then, Marilyn, when I talked about it. But they had a really good price on like a 30-yard roll of batting. So I bought it. I just got it this week. I ordered it in April. It was a pre-order. They said it wouldn't be shipping out until sometime in late June. Well, it finally got it. But here's what I don't like about Dinky Doo. They have a great... One thing I like is they have a great inventory. Like, they have a lot of stuff. Their prices are reasonable, I feel, but they take a long time to get it to you, at least is what I have found. That I do have a problem with. And the other thing I have even more of a problem with is 3 emails or more a day from them about what they've got on sale, or you have these points because they give you points with your orders. You should use them up and all this stuff. And I went on to their site, and to cut down on those emails. I mean, I don't mind getting maybe one email a day from a company, because I just click, bye-bye garbage. But they were obsessive, and they were coming at all times of the day. I get them in the morning, I get them in the afternoon, I get them in the evening. So I went in and I found, where you can cut back. You could say a limit to one a week or something. Well, it limited it down to one a day. I only get one a day usually now. Although lately I've been seeing that's creeping up again. It's like flogging a dead horse. I think advertising is a good thing for online stores. They have newsletters, things like that, so you know what's on sale and you have the choice, oh, you got a good sale. Maybe I'll buy something there. But if you're constantly bombarded with you, at least for me, it makes me want to not deal with them. And that's the way I feel about Dinky Doo right now. Now, I know there are lots of people love Dinky Doo. With a name like Dinky Doo, who couldn't love you? But I don't know. I just, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with those. Teresa says, well, at least a bad impressions of Russia under Putin and China.
Yeah, well, apparently a lot of these scams, Russia was a new one for me, but I know a lot of the scams that are being generated come from Nigeria and from India. And I guess from Russia too now. So in a world where we're supposed to be so conscious of racism and things like that, these scammers aren't doing much. With that, they come out of Nigeria, they come out of India, and I'm sorry, but it makes you really, when you get on a phone and somebody has an Eastern Indian accent, and even though it's a legit business and you're talking to them, you immediately go into that scammer frame of mind, like, I don't want to talk to you kind of a thing. And that's sorry. That's shameful. I mean, but that's what they're doing to their kind of people and everything, that kind of thing. Because, if I have to get another call about cleaning my ducks, really? And that's also the Nigeria, those scam emails that you get where it says, we'll pay you, we'll give you an estate of X millions of dollars if you pay us forward $5,000 to us or something.
And the thing is, that seems so obvious that that's a scam, but obviously they're getting some people with that. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't continue doing it. I don't know. I think our governments, at least in North America, need to do something. There has to be something put in place for this. I don't know how you handle it or how you do it.
Well, there's also these stupid ones that come up with, we have the Canada Revenue Agency, and I guess in the United States they have the, what do they call
IRS.
it? IRS or whatever. And they call you up and say, you've made big mistakes on your income tax or whatever, and you have to pay us back all this money. And go out and buy Walmart gift certificates.
Yeah, okay, there's your first clue. Like, Canada Revenue or IRS are not going to be taking Walmart gift cards or Apple gift cards or iTunes gift cards. I mean, and yet you hear of people who actually go out and do that.
And they go out and buy $5,000 worth of cards so that they're not going to be charged by the government for evading taxes or whatever.
Yeah, I think we have a new person, Kara or Kara, I'm not sure how you say it. Very well, welcome. And she uses 505 and pins too. Yay! Welcome to my club. And Pat says, I love it when they say their name is Tom. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Walter. That's oftentimes when the calls come from our landline, because Walter's the only one that's listed with the landline. My name's not listed with it because years ago I went unlisted because I was a school teacher, and school teachers don't like to have their numbers published. And there was, but I know they can't say his last name. Hello, Mr. Walter. And I always answer as if I'm him, because he's still in bed usually when those calls come through. And I go, yes. And I get belligerent with them, but it doesn't matter. They hang up on me anyways. Of course they do.
Teresa says you got to watch it on Kijiji. If you advertise anything and get an immediate response, it's usually someone who wants to pay double if you ship it to them.
Oh, yeah. Right. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, there's such a game out there. Yeah, I got, Angel says, yeah, I get someone from India that call it once in a while from IRS. Yeah, and they're saying that they've got the cops are going to have a warrant for your arrest and all that. And I've said to them before, when they've done that with the CRA, which is the Canadian Revenue Association, the equivalent to the IRS, I've said to them, that's funny because I'm a cop. What's your badge number? And they go, boom, and hang up. Sometimes I get in and I say, you should really get a real job.
Actually, it started way back when my mother, the first time I realized a scam came through is I worked for the government of Ontario, and my dad had just passed away about 6 months before, and my mother got a call that said that there was a benefit that they got from the government for about $3,000 after someone passes away. And somebody had called my mother and said that that was a mistake and they had to pay it back. So my mother said, well, I don't do the finances, you have to phone my son. So they actually had the nerve to phone me at work. And they said, well, yeah, we made a mistake with this, you have to pay it back. And I said to them, okay, so what's your name? Because in the government, you always have to be able to give your name to whoever's calling. And they wouldn't say, oh, we don't do that, that's private. And I said, well, you work for the government, you're supposed to give me your name. And so I had a long discussion with him, and I said, well, that's fine if we have to overpay. That was before I knew a scam. I said, you'll have to send us the paperwork, right? Because I won't give any money out unless I get proper paperwork. Paperwork never arrived.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not paying attention to you because there's breaking news. Janice says, my son is missing since last night. And she says he's 35 and he went to a club by himself and never came home.
Uh-oh.
That's not good, Janice. Oh, we're so sorry to hear that. And so now everybody's got talking about it. My little dog has been with since Tuesday. My thoughts are with you as a child. Yeah. It's usually, or the cops are coming to get you. The grammar is usually another clue. Yeah, for that. Scan that. Well, Janice, geez. What have the cops told you? They've been called? Or whatever? That's very, very scary up there. I hope it all turns out okay for you, Janice, because, geez. What do you say to that?
Mm-hmm.
That's something. But anyways, well, okay, so this has been a mixed bag today. It started off with me being pissed off, and now we have poor Janice right there. So hopefully, Janice, he will turn up and all will be well. Yeah, we're sending positive thoughts your way, and everybody else is too.
Hopefully he went home and crashed at a friend's place.
Yeah, something. Maybe he did. Maybe he's just at a friend's place. Maybe he had a little bit too much to drink and he's sleeping it off. Let's hope so. Okay. Well, one thing before we leave, I need to interview people. I'm running out. My last interview comes up on Tuesday. I have nobody else. So, where are you people? I want to interview you, okay? So, let me know. Send me an email. Email address is in the show notes below, and there's some other useful links there as well for you. And, yeah. So I think that's it for this week. And, yeah, Janice says yes, but nothing yet. Okay. So, anyways, well, Janice, we're wishing you the best.
Let us know what happens.
Yeah, let us know what happens.
I hope for the best
and
for
hope
everything.
It's good, yeah. So anyways, and I hope everybody else has a good what's left of the weekend and have a good week next week. And I hope next week when we talk to you, I won't be in quite as pissy of a mood from that. But no guarantees. Okay, so everybody, we're going to head on out. And, well, we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye for now. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye, Walter.